Hey, what's going on guys? I'm Mr. Sandman, and today I want to discuss some of the positive and negative changes that I've seen from the new vaulting test update. This is the third time I've tried it, so I thought now was a good time as any to give my opinions. Remember, since this is based on the test server experience, it may change from when this video is published. Important to note. Before I begin, I just want to say performance wise, it ran pretty terribly. Better than the second wave, but a lot worse than the first vaulting test server, which was actually great. I hope this is due to easily fixable issues and also the fact I'm an Aussie playing on the NA servers. Now let's start with some of the good things I took away from the vaulting update. I like that you added reticule brightness adjustment. Unneeded, but I'll take it. Personally, I will always prefer the dimmest red dot as it has the smallest and most precise dot, making it pointless for me to ever adjust it. The red zone sounds have vastly improved in terms of realism. Now it actually sounds scary and you really don't want to be inside it. The sound of the buggy has improved so that it no longer rapes my ears when I drive it, meaning I no longer have to mute the game. Finally, I really like the different reticules you've done for the 4X. I like how clean the 5561 one looks compared to the blurry one before it. Bit disappointed it doesn't change if you use color blindness settings. It's still the default color. The 762 one also looks very clean, like a PSO scope or something. I especially like the 4X on the sniper. It's very nice. You can now jump out of the plane earlier. Great for going to mill to power. You reverted the font back to the way it was before. Thank God. You can now vault, the big showstopper for this update. It's actually a pretty good feature. Also, if you didn't know this, you can actually cancel your vault halfway through if you don't hold the shift button. Otherwise, if you hold the shift button, you overshoot. You can actually shoot through the water now. It's no longer bulletproof. So just note that you can no longer be safe inside the water. Great improvement to the smoke. It's actually very CSGO-like, which I like a lot. It's actually how it should have been since the beginning, if you ask me. You can very easily use it for reviving teammates. Still not sure if they fix a bug where it doesn't render for the enemy if they are a certain distance away, but let's hope they did. Nice addition of the noise as you cross between the blue zone. Same with the announcement of the red zone. It's a very Hunger Games-esque and I like that. The bandages have been reworked and they work very well. I might actually keep them instead of throwing them away now. They can heal almost as quickly as a first aid now. No longer do you have to wait for 2 ticks before rebandaging. Great change. Overall, the GUI looks a lot better and a lot cleaner. The compass looks improved since you can see exactly which number you're looking at. Kill cam is great, although extremely buggy for me. I'd have to replay it again to see where I died as most of it was black screen. Nice addition with the visual kill feed. They've finally added another gun since the MK14 and the Mini 14, that being the DP28 and the AUG. Personally, I didn't get a chance to use the AUG, but the DP is in my opinion pretty useless. It's got worse recoil than the AK. Yeah, that's all you need to know. Great that they've taken the car out of the box now. Now, if only they could just remove the M249. Moving on to some of the negative things that irked me the wrong way in the test server. Firstly, why did you change the bullet drop? Did you think it was too easy to begin with? What was the point to adding another variable to bullet drop? Personally, I thought it worked fine the way it was before. All it means now is that we just have to learn the new bullet drops for every single weapon in the game again. By adding the scroll wheel adjustment of the brightness of the scope, you remove the ability to change weapons with your scroll wheel. Even if I change the brightness changer to another keybind, this still happens. So just to be clear, I'm talking about when I'm ADS in my weapon, I can't change weapons with my scroll wheel, which is kind of annoying. Even though the bombs may sound more realistic, they rape your ears far more than they ever did before. Holy shit. So you made it so the buggy isn't as loud, which is great. But now the bike is as loud as it's ever been. It's so fucking deafening. God damn it, make up your minds. For whatever reason, jumping has been nerfed to shit. This game was already clunky enough to move around in. Now it's a fucking chore. Look at this before and after the update. It's stupid. Do they even play their own game? Why change this? Was it really so game breaking that you could jump quickly up hills? So I'm not sure if this is just my warped perception, but I think it's now harder to see where your shots are hitting. Like, a lot more guessing has to be used. This might be because I was playing on EU servers and there was a lot of desync, but who knows. Why? Why was the ability to put an 8x on an M16 removed? What purpose does this serve? Was it really so OP to put an 8x on that gun? Okay, so then you still allow all the other ARs to put an 8x on, even the shotgun? Man, these developers are so out of touch. Since the game launched in March, you still can't angle yourself in the direction you want to go when you leave the plane. How hard is it to implement this? So why'd you remove another great feature, crouch jumping? It was a much more stealthy way of getting out of windows since you didn't break the glass each time you jumped out. You could be a real ninja, you know? Sneak up behind someone. Now I'm just sad. I find myself preferring the simplistic look of the old 8x to the new 8x. The new one has a distracting circle around the middle. Also, that zoom functionality, a little pointless in my opinion. Again, this could be an incorrect perception, but I felt like vehicles were a lot slower despite the higher numbers of the speed. Like, maybe the speed is just fake to make us feel like we're going faster. I'm not sure. Many parts of the map that are indoors are extremely dark now, even when you turn the brightness up all the way up to 100%. Not sure why this was changed, questionable. It was more noticeable in the factory on Millibase and also mill to power. So for some reason the FOV has been tweaked to make the guns take up more of the screen. Again, a bizarre decision to make. Another thing that's been fucked with is the weapon sway. Now it's absolutely crazy. It's especially obvious if you jump and look left or right. I think it happens because the camera still thinks you're looking forward, so that's why the gun violently spazzes out. Here's a side-by-side comparison. Nowhere near as bad in the live server as you can see. Finally, I prefer the team list in the top left hand corner, which brings me to my real point. We should be able to customize our HUD completely. Something that Shroud mentioned and I think is a really good idea. Maybe when the game is fully released perhaps. So what did you guys think? Did I miss anything? Tell me what you thought in the comments below and be sure to leave a like and also maybe hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already. Cheers.